I've spent thousands of hours in League of Legends and twice that in other games. And most of that was wasted. Long games have a major problem. They lure you in with a fun start and then make you grind to feel it again. But why is that? Are all the games grindy? And where is the fun in today's games? To figure it out, I've categorized games by estimates of how long they are playable for. First is thousands to infinite hours. First category is quite broad. In it fall competitive games like League, Dota, CSGO, survival sandboxes and some of MMORPGs. But for me, two games had biggest impact. One was League of Legends. This is my peak example here. I would lock myself in a room and play for 14 hours straight, like there was no outside world. No other things to do, no other games to play. A rat basically. I kinda felt like one. Peeking out from time to time just to grab a snack and sneak back in. Kind of games that have a gameplay loop that just sucks you in. Not for a week, not for a month, but for years. Start a game, load in, focus hard to win. Gigantic emotional spikes and drops. So much happening at the same time, so many things to get better at. Competitive. And it wasn't the only game like that. Escape from Tarkov was just as addicting. Thousands of hours through in a sync. But playing games is fun, right? Then it's not wasted time. That would be the case given I would have had the fun. It took me quite some time to realize I've been going in circles for years, stuck in an emotional loop. Win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. Only at some moments was it really fun. League felt like endless grind against random odds and versus own mood at times. Tarkov felt like chasing a golden duck that's just around the corner, but when I'm about to catch it, it gets wiped. Everything gets wiped, and I have to start again. Not anymore. Why do I have to work to get some fun? Why imitate being productive in games? I just wanna play, I thought, so I decided to limit it. Player versus player is an unending cycle of gameplay. That's not for me, I thought. Let's try some other games. Games that offer hundreds of hours of gameplay. New World. Oh, that was a crazy one. I have no idea how I managed to play this game for 500 hours in what felt like 2 months. The beginning was exciting. A grand new universe stood in front of me. Beautiful, immersive, made with big care to details that I liked. Mechanics felt great, graphics looked mesmerizing, and progress felt nice. And it was that. The progress that felt good. It was a lie I've been telling myself past 50-hour mark. Before that I've been discovering. On adventure to meet new world, to learn new mechanics, to craft new weapons and fight new monsters. That was just the start of a grind. As the time progressed, there was less and less new things. Discovery went to zero. Nothing was fresh anymore. Stale, but I kept at it, mining stones for 10 hours daily. It felt good at times, when these rare stones actually appeared. But the other 9 hours and 30 minutes were miserable. And that's how it went. Start with magic and at grinding. But there is more games like that. Destiny 2, Lost Ark, Black Desert, Path of Exile, Rust. All ready to suck you in with novelty, just to leave you grinding. Games that offer 60, 80 hours of gameplay, more or less. This is a point where it becomes so much more fun for me. Baldur's Gate 3, a game which I thought I would die while playing. I thought this would bore me to death, that I would become a sand before anything interesting happens. Oh, how wrong I was! For some reason I thought of this game as boring, just cause the fights weren't turn-based. On top of that, instead a single hero, which I was used to, there would be 4 in a party. But that clip, when I saw someone build a ladder out of boxes, man, that showed me how creative can one get in this game, so I gave it a try. It took me really quick to realize how wrong I was all along. The game greeted me with incredible characters, a great story, marvelous world that is so lively, I was shook. Constant stream of novelty, new places, new stories, new characters, new mechanics, new. Novelty everywhere. No grinding, not for a moment. Progress through story, not collecting stones. Only then I've discovered beauty of single player games. I did play some in the past, yeah, but more as one-offs. At that point, I've cut out most grinding I've done in games and switched to fun maxing. It would leave me thinking when I'm going to forget this game, so I can have the fun again. Completely new outlook at gaming for me. Other games I would place in this category are Elden Ring, Witcher 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Kingdom Come, Deliverance 2, and so many more. Obviously, there is so many more of them, but they share common traits. These are worlds built with depth, with interesting characters, breathtaking stories, and possibility to grind a bit, if you want to. But it was a possibility, not a must. It made all the difference. Now it's time for games that are around 10, 20, 30 hours. Section of games that's almost nothing like the others. Games engineered to load you with fun gameplay every second.
Yo, what is that? Get away, 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 get away from me, get away. Get away from me. But he's so cute.
Lethal Company, Repo. The friend slop genre is a great example here. Short time from start to understanding what's going on in the game. Gameplay loop that's just there for you to have a base to laugh with friends. Or indie games. I love this so much. Low price point and 10, 20, 30 hours gameplay. That's a constant stream of novelty. New mechanics, new worlds, new places, new heroes, new stories. With grind that is just optional. Fun is allowed all the time. That's exactly what I look for in games now. Take Vampire Survivors for example. Insanely simple gameplay. You have unlocks, things to grind for, yeah, but they are not even needed a bit to have fun. You can just play a game which is also limited in the time and go away. Surely some people get sucked in it for 100 hours there. But it's important to note that everyone has different preferences. Mine is the constant novelty stream. New challenges, but premieres like Baldur's Gate 3 are quite rare. So it's usually the best with games that are, well, cheap. So mostly games from smaller studios, or games made on a smaller scale. Thronefall, a cool Steam indie tower defense. Progress through levels, with some unlocks happening on the way. Megabong, a fast-paced survivor game. Kinda like Vampire Survivors, but in 3D. Unlocks and challenges? Yeah, they are there, for those who dare. But the game is fun from the start, and keeps the novelty high. Or maybe a shorter game like Gnomes. A tower defense game. It took me 7.5 hours. I didn't end the entire game, just most of it. I loaded in. The game is grim and dark. The graphic is odd and specific. Not similar to anything I've played recently, yet familiar enough in style to be comfy to play. Obviously, there are limits to things. Make a game too short and it becomes a disappointment. But when games are overloaded with grind to get to the fun parts, that's a big no-no for me. If I'm working, I like to get paid. If I play, I like to have fun. Difference in fun density between longer and shorter games is absolutely enormous. Let me explain how I see it. In games like MMORPGs, the fun density starts high. You enter a new world, discover its mechanics and characteristics. And from that point on, it keeps going down, with spikes boosting it up. Build making, new dungeons, new mechanics. But at some point you know it all, and all that's left is upgrading the gear and going to harder places, which are likely the same maps you already know, maybe with some slight remixes. Whereas with shorter games, the fun starts high and stays that way until the game ends, or until it becomes boring 100 to 0. And honestly, I would rather just stop playing the game than staying in that almost fun, but kinda burnt out loop. Here is how I see it for shorter games. It starts great, stays that way, and then it simply ends. Just a bit of time spent in the not so fun zone. Here, for longer games, it looks like this. The area I very carefully painted red is the wasted time. Not only it's much longer in the overall game time, the game itself can be 100 times as long. And that's just for some games. For the PvP ones like League of Legends, it's even crazier. And the not so fun zone actually becomes, I don't even want to play this game anymore in my life, please somebody already delete this from my computer because what's happening in there is just unbelievable zone. Of course, this is my own point of view. Some people just love the grind. I just decided I wanted to have more time for other hobbies as well. So I raised the bar when it's not fun for me. And it was such a great decision. Now I have more fun gaming. benefiting from more free time. I love a good story-driven game, or a co-op to play with my friends, or maybe an indie game that's super emotion punching and then just gets quit forever. I see this as absolute win-win situation. More time, more fun, and only one thing was required for this: respecting my own time more. But it wasn't all that I've tried to make my gaming more fun. Protecting my time had more good outcomes than just that. So make sure to check it out in this video.